Welcome to Frequency Mask Search for DataVu-PC. In this video, we're going to show the frequency domain search capabilities. What do we mean by frequency domain search? Well, in this case, we allow the user to set threshold values for each frequency, and when that threshold is exceeded, DataVu-PC creates a marker. The set of frequency threshold is what we are referring to as a mask. This particular data set that we see has many signals that have significant power and are constantly transmitting, which makes finding the transient signals using time domain searches virtually impossible. This is where the frequency mask search is very useful. Clicking on the frequency mask button will take us to the frequency mask tool. There you can create your mask and run the search against the mask that you've created. You can then tweak or completely change your mask and rerun it if you choose. If you have a really large file, I always suggest that you run your search over a small portion of the file while you are tuning your mask, because in the frequency mask search, DataVu-PC performs an FFT, then converts it to dBm and checks it against the created mask throughout the selected samples. It is very computationally intensive. It uses the FFT link that you select in the settings dialog box and the start and stop time index field, also in the settings dialog box, to determine how much data to search. The FFT overlap slider is used to set the overlap parameter for the search. As you can see, a very simple mask is automatically created when you enter the frequency mask search screen. You can add or delete points as you need and grab and drag the points to move them wherever you want. Let's add several points and move them around. As you can see, when we add a point, it puts it right in the middle of the spectrum display. If we draw the mask so that it violates this constantly on signal and we start it, you'll see that we get just one result back. The start is just following the initial FFT and the end is the end of the file. Now let's alter this so that we catch a more transient signal. As you can see, we have 157 markers in this data file. It gives us the start time, the stop time, and the pulse duration, a bit bigger, as well as a PRI. This is a great way to find rogue signals, interferers, or unexpected signals. Now those are the basics of the frequency mask search. Let's look in a little bit more detail of the screen. At the left, you can see the list of the points in the mask. You can click on these points and it will highlight the point on the spectrum that you've selected in the list. You can manually type in and alter these values for both the frequency and the power levels. Alternately, as you've seen, we can just drag these points around. This gives you the ability to set values exactly as you need them. The min and max display power fields let you position the spectrum display where you need it to be. The mask bandwidth determines the width of the mask. The FFT overlap shows what you have chosen using the FFT slider on the previous screen. Raise all points and lower all points allows you to raise and lower the mask as a unit. Update the current trace allows you to redraw the spectrum to display where you are currently in the file. The auto mask button uses the number in the auto mask point fields to draw a mask automatically based on the spectrum displayed. You can set this value really high and draw a really complex mask, but it becomes very tedious to manipulate. Often a simpler mask is more practical, so let's set this to 50. Keep in mind that the auto masks are not perfect and will require some tweaking. We also give you the ability to save the mask to a file so you can create libraries of masks to reuse. Using the load button, you can reload a previously created mask. Keep in mind, if your mask is a different bandwidth than the signal you are applying it to, DataVu-PC will lengthen or truncate the mask as necessary. Don't forget, the results from this search are e-markers, and you can add, delete, edit, save, export, and import e-markers to tailor your e-marker results however you want. This has been Frequency Mask Search for DataVu-PC. Thanks for joining me.